Hello everyone, it's Erin. Today we are doing a reading that is meant for you today at the time that you're receiving it. So I have one stack here and one stack here, and we're going to shuffle and pull from these cards. So without further ado, let's get started. The first card we have here is the Moth. The second card we have is the King of Pentacles. We're going to remove stacks so we can work with them. So it looks like, just based on the posture of our king here, that there's something you've been thinking about or ruminating on, something that you need to solve. And notice how the king has this pentacle in his hand, but he's not really paying attention to the pentacle. He is visited by this spirit raven, but he's not looking at that either. He's looking straight forward. And so this can show that he's unbothered, but he also looks a little bit bored, doesn't he? And he's looking for something more. And then here we have the Moth, which represents spirit guidance, ancestors and spirit guides. So let's pull a little bit more and see what the guidance is for you today. Here we go. We have the Empress right here. She is plowing forward. Look at her face. She is very determined. We also have a 3, which is a forward movement. 2 is stability and 3 is progress. So you have something that you need to set out to do. Let's find out more information about this. We have the Rat. Pair that with the Moth. So the Rat indicates a good omen. So your spirit guides are working with you, and you have a destiny to fulfill right now. And I think part of you knows it, which is what this Empress card is representing. And the good omen or the destiny is directly tied to your spirit guidance. So let's see what that spirit guidance is. Looks like, see, I have a vision of a green hill, and that can represent mediating forces. In other words, you won't know exactly what you're doing until you reach the top of that hill. And we know that mounds and hills are spiritual hotspots and contain portals to other dimensions. So this is a metaphysical journey that you are on. We have clairvoyant, which confirms that it is indeed a metaphysical journey. We have clairvoyant right here and nocturne, which means night. So pay attention to your visions, and I'm also getting to that you are advised to write before you go to bed. Like, get out a journal and write your thoughts and write your intentions and write the things that you would like your spirit guides to help you with as you drift to sleep, because our minds go into an altered state, you know, as we go into a state of peace in order to fall asleep. And it's a great opportunity, and as well as when we dream, for our spirit guides and our inspiration more so to reach us. So this is some advice that they're giving you, and your spirit guides are wanting through this reading to alert you to the fact that they have information for you that will be for your highest good. And so right now, this being the King of Pentacles, is showing that conditions in the world and responsibilities and demands on you in the world, because the Pentacles represent Earth, those things have been taking up a lot of your energy and intention. So they're saying it's time to now venture, like this Empress here, into problem solving by using inspiration and spirit. This is meant to reach certain people at certain times who will be in somewhat different circumstances. So let's see what else we got. So we have the Devil. So the devil is a very complex card, and it's an inverse of our spiritual progress. So we have, that's why it's represented by the downward facing pentacle. It's pointing us toward earthly things. And we have this pyramid pointing down, and she's got one eye, a blank eye, and a regular eye. But she looks kind of loopy, doesn't she? She's also been through a thing or two. She's got a little scratch on her face, or his face. This is a very gender neutral deck. So let's set this here and let's ask the spirit guides, what is the influence that we need to worry about that is represented by the devil? Curio cabinet, this means subject needs protection. Just like you would put a precious or magical item into a cabinet for protection. So this is saying that you need protection. And I'm getting a feeling it's saying that you need underworld support to protect you. So this is not so much, it's not only representing a negative potential, but it's representing also how you can utilize that underworld kind of murky energy to help you. There's a lot of really amazing guides in the underworld. And the underworld, I mean, a lot of us associate hell with the underworld or like demonic things, but it's not necessarily the case. You can find those kinds of things in the underworld. But initially, when you practice going into the underworld, it's through nature and through nature spirits. And there's some really wonderful guardians found within the nature spirit realm in the underworld. So we could do a whole video on the underworld, but this is intriguing. So let's see what else it has to say. The alchemist, let's see. So the alchemist is literally confirming the advice to have a journal, to work out your problems. I've got the guidebook right here, and I want to show it to you so you can see what I'm talking about. So we see at the very top, the alchemist. Use your creativity to change the outcome and keep a journal of your ideas and experiments in what you are hoping to transform. So this is the spirit guides letting us know that you are going through an alchemical change. An alchemical change means that you are being prepared or are on the precipice of experiencing a spiritual transformation. You're going to probably feel it through your chakras. You're going to change, and you're being prepared for this shift, and journaling is going to be very important, especially at night before you go to bed. And I'm so that card keeps sticking out to me because it's such a powerful card. When we do shadow work or connect more to the elements of nature in our spiritual journey rather than only, the purely angelic energy, we have power to manifest, power to understand ourselves, and power to transform ourselves. Well, that was weird. Okay, let's see. Let's just pull one from here. So the Emperor. Oh my gosh. So a lot of times when I see the Emperor, I automatically think, okay, this is a controlling figure, but it's not only about control. Certainly in this art, you can see how he's grasping something and it's just oozing from him. It seems to indicate a negative type of control. But what I'm picking up from Spirit with the Emperor card here is that it's time for you to gain a new level of spiritual mastery in which you are able to control the energetic forces at hand. So if you are someone who has struggled with negative energy coming over you or emotional imbalances, sometimes those imbalances can be from energy, be it collective energy. It could be someone that you know whose energy has influenced you, and all sorts of just random BS energies that have the potential to infiltrate your aura, and you are going to learn how to be in control of what energies are entering your life and which ones aren't. And to do that, you have to go down to the earth. And that is what the devil can represent, the positive side of darkness and the devil. As we move down into matter, things get more dense. But density in matter is not the opposite necessarily of heavenly light. It is the end point of that light. So as we go into density and into the earth and explore the shadow and explore our true physical needs for protection, for example, that's a physical need for survival. It's a evolutionary adaptation to learn how to protect yourself here. As we go down into that kind of underworldy kind of energy and into earthly energy, we will eventually find light again. Because at the center of the earth is a molten core of light. And so you could see, in that sense, earth as a star in and of itself. And as you go into the earth, you find that light again, and it helps to balance out the forces of the stellar light or the celestial light, the heavenly light. So we got to bring that same spiritual presence that we brought into really big, beautiful angelic realms and bring that down and start talking to nature again. Start talking to the trees. Invite the energies of nature, or even the angels or spirits of nature, like Pan or like Uriel, or no, it's Ariel. Ariel, the Archangel Ariel is, and Uriel, I think they both are. They're very much helping with earthly things. But we don't want to get too stuck in concepts of angelic energy, because we need to return to earth. And that's what we're doing. And when you do that, it doesn't mean you have to completely set spirituality aside. I think that's a misconception. So we're still connected to our guides. We are going into material, denser earth energy, represented also by the King of Pentacles, so that we can have protection as we do it. And again, make sure you journal. Let's see, I think there's a little more. So we'll pull another few cards for you before we end this reading. So for anyone who's confused, let's ask spirit guides to, specifically the spirit guides of everyone who ends up watching this video. We ask all other entities that may be posing as guides to step back. Any suppressive entities or energies to step back. We only want the purest guides that resonate to you. So we have Seven of Cups. You are presented with choices right now. We have the White Newman. It was in reverse, which I usually interpret to mean it's coming soon. Okay, but we're just going to put it upright so you can see it better. And the White Newman is about everything in your life, from the celestial to the earthly mundane, being guided and embraced and held by spirit. So we see this holding of what looks almost like a planet to me. And this, what is it? Is it a, I almost wanted to say it's a buffalo, but it doesn't have the big hump. It's a bull. It's a bull, and we see something that looks kind of like, this reminds me of a pocket watch. So we have elements of time, we have movement, and we have the changes and tides of the moon. So there's a lot going on in this card, but it evokes being surrounded by spirit. See how this bull is not touching the ground because spirit is all around it. This card represents that integration of all things into one unified spiritual whole, from above and below. So this is the message that you most need to hear. And because you have some choices and options coming up, you need this reading in order to have some clarity and get guidance to help with those choices. Apparition. So some of you might be feeling a little bit caged or stuck or in grief. You might have experienced a loss or someone passing. Sometimes this indicates a spirit guide or an ancestor coming to help you, but I'm feeling like this is a void. This is representing a void within you that you need to fill, and that's why these choices are up for you right now. You want to solve this emptiness or this problem. So Cinnamon. So that is like good luck and happiness. So better things are coming. The ocean, that's about listening within. So what you need to do is start a meditative process, a meditation habit here, specifically to address the unanswered question that you have, or the feeling of void or of not knowing. Because your spirit guides are showing you that you have the resources within you to address this. And first, in order to do it, you have to tune in to that all that is energy, that all-encompassing spiritual love and presence that is available, that we've been discussing. So next, we're going to look into some advice on how to best enter those underworldy dimensions or do the shadow work. Let's see. We have Two of Pentacles. We have Page of Wands, Wheel of Fortune, and the High Priestess. So what it's showing is that on this journey that you're coming up to right now or very soon or are on the verge of is going to require you, again, to balance the above and below. This is a confirmation. We got the black. These are called Newmans, like spirit guides, animal spirit guides. The black with the white, the above and below, balance it out. And you're going to need to start a new journey independently, initiated by you. That is the Page of Wands. And it's repeating again that you will get the guidance that you need, because this is not just happening randomly for you. This has been planned and organized by your soul and your spirit guides. And the High Priestess indicates using tools to look for your next steps. And the High Priestess in this deck is very sexualized, as you can see. And the fact that she has one foot in the water, which is, evocative of the Rider-Waite deck, where she has one foot, connecting to water. That shows that she's connected to her emotions, but she's also completely under control. This is going to take some discipline, and you're going to need to listen carefully to your intuition as you start this journey. All right, any more advice from the spirit guides? Okay. Nocturne. This could mean you're doing astral travel or traveling to meet your spirit guides at night, which is why the journaling was recommended. So when we see the cards repeating themselves in various ways, it's our validation, and it also helps illuminate us on a deeper level. The Herbalist. So this is telling me that some of you may want to look into tinctures, medicinal tinctures that help calm the nervous system and clear the nervous system. Some that come to mind that you might look up to consider, and I'm not recommending because I'm not an herbalist, but just to look into, there's Ghost Pipe tincture, which really helps when you're exploring your shadow and doing astral travel. It helps you to integrate and let go. It helps you handle grief. Peppermint tea is also calming and helpful. Chamomile, and just, go to your local health food store or whatnot, or apothecary, and see what's recommended to you, specifically to help you with dreams. You might look at mugwort, dreams and nervous system regulation, because that'll help stabilize your consciousness while you do these explorations. Hi guys, I'm filming this a little bit later because I had a feeling that we needed to wrap that up a little bit more with a short message. We have the ocean, and we have Seven of Cups. So this circles back to the need to balance your energies out, because what this is saying is it's indicating, when we go through major expansion, we don't always know what choice to make. Seven of Cups is choices and not knowing which one to make. And that can be because we are moving into a very expanded state of mind, like the ocean. The ocean represents expanse and depth. And featuring the conch shells here in this card, that indicates listening to that expanse and that depth. But when we do that, there's a lot of choices available to us. And when people expand quickly, sometimes our normal sense of judgment isn't quite the same. Having good judgment is what allows us to stay true to our moral core, to our values. And I don't think that judgment is wrong. I do think that condemning yourself or other people is wrong. And so that's that toxic side of judgment that I think that that line gets blurry sometimes between making a good judgment for yourself based on your values and being judgmental and assuming that other people are bad just because they're doing something different. And sometimes people are doing things that are very foolish, and it's okay to be like, you know what? I don't think that's for me. And I hope that it works well for you. You don't have to condemn that person. All that to say, let's bring our discernment into our changes. We need to have faith, and then we need to figure out how to feel that guidance and that energy and know when it is helping us and when it is leading us to, a place that lacks discernment, okay? So they're saying we should pull another card, Winter. So this is about things changing by winter. This just indicates the season. And winter is also associated with the direction of the north, which is about introspection. And it's also opportunities to learn and to crystallize your clarity, right? And so the northern direction, I absolutely love. That's why I call this North Star Mystic Tarot, because the northern energies are so powerful for me. I love them. I love the clarity that comes with the associations of the northern direction. So that is winter. And so what this is saying is to highlight your clarity when you're feeling a little bit lost in the expanse, when you're expanding and your options open up. So some of you might be asking, okay, how do I do that? How do I make sure that I stay within the realm of good judgment and discernment? So let's see what the cards have to say about that. I think I'm going to shuffle this one. Ooh-wee! I'm always so messy with that. So we have the World here. And we have the Empress. So this is a reminder that your earthly identity, who you are on the planet Earth, not necessarily who you are in expanded realms. Like some of us really resonate with the star realms. We might feel like we're from the star realms. We're from the Pleiades or Sirius, or from the sun. And some of us feel like we might be from the fairy realm or the mermaid realm or Atlantis. And all of these associations teach us things because our soul has had many experiences. But you are also of the earth, the world. You, and being the Empress, is about having that spiritual and earthly balance and connection and embracing that identity of Earth Mama. So we have the Empress and the World. So they're saying the way that you balance out and keep your clarity is through earth-based spirituality and practices to keep you grounded. That is how you will balance your earthly and spiritual identities and experiences. That's what this means. And take pride in your connection with nature and your connection with the laws of nature and the beauty of nature. And part of that is having good boundaries and also showing compassion and making good decisions. So see how the Empress in this deck is holding a staff. And in most decks, the Empress is very soft, and in this deck, her brows are pointed down. She looks kind of determined to me. Like the way she's putting her staff forward with one hand on the hilt of her short sword there. She's the master of her domain. She's in her power. And when you envision someone with power, spiritual power, holding a staff and placing it on the ground with some force, that is a powerful maneuver, right? That's claiming space from a spiritual standpoint, and that's what she's doing here. And that, in the World card here, it's very similar in the sense that you can tell she's in a place of victory here. She's holding her flowers, she's got stars in her hair, and she's looking over at the priestess, or at the Empress. So this is saying, like, the world is looking for your power and your balance and your discernment and your wisdom. And so bring all that in, and you will find that balance, and you will be okay. And we're going to do one more wrap-up card here. The Alchemist, which is wonderful. I pulled that just prior to this. And this is like weeks later. So the deck has been shuffled many times. So, and this also shows how you are going through this alchemical change. Spirit apparently wants to validate this to you again. And also it might be a hint to do a little research on spiritual alchemy. That's working with the elements and the planets and all of that. That might be worth your while. So it's exciting, you guys. You're going through some really great changes. And I am excited for you and happy for you. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments below. You can also join my Patreon. You'll find that link below as well, where you can ask further clarifying questions. And I make sure to answer all questions on Patreon. And I'll try to answer most questions on YouTube as well. But Patreon, you can get a little extra effort there in directly answering your personal questions, and you can also request additional readings. Okay, take good care, guys. Bye for now.